The world of Dragon Ball had always been a place of constant evolution, where warriors pushed their limits to achieve new heights of power. In this new chapter of the saga, the stakes were higher than ever. The balance of the multiverse was at risk, and the fates of gods and mortals alike hung in the balance. The story began with a shocking revelation. Goku, the Saiyan warrior who had once been a mere child from planet Vegeta, had been invited to join the ranks of the angels, the enigmatic and immensely powerful beings who served as guides and mentors to the gods of destruction. This invitation came after Goku's mastery of Ultra Instinct reached a level that even Whis, his longtime mentor, deemed unparalleled. Goku's decision to accept this offer was not made lightly. He knew that stepping into the realm of the angels meant leaving behind his mortal life, but the promise of unlocking even greater power and understanding the mysteries of the multiverse was too tempting to resist. Meanwhile, Vegeta, ever the rival, had his own ambitions. While Goku ascended to the realm of the angels, Vegeta set his sights on a different goal, surpassing the gods of destruction themselves. His training under Beerus had honed his skills to near perfection, but Vegeta was not content with merely being second to Goku. He sought to prove that he was the strongest warrior in the multiverse, and his path to achieving this goal would lead him to challenge the very gods who govern destruction. The initial conflict arose when the Grand Priest, the leader of the angels, announced a tournament unlike any other. This tournament would pit the strongest warriors from across the multiverse against the gods of destruction in a series of one-on-one battles. The prize? The opportunity to claim the title of the strongest being in existence. For Goku, this tournament was a chance to test his newfound abilities as an angel. For Vegeta, it was an opportunity to prove his dominance and claim the position of the god of destruction, a role he believed he was destined for. The stakes were high, and the tension between the two Saiyan warriors was palpable. As the tournament began, the first match saw Vegeta facing off against the god of destruction from Universe 11, Belmod. Belmod, a cunning and ruthless fighter, was known for his mastery of energy manipulation and his ability to predict his opponent's moves. The battle began with a flurry of energy blasts, each one more devastating than the last. Vegeta, however, was unfazed. His training had prepared him for this moment, and he countered Belmod's attacks with precision and power. The Saiyan Prince unleashed a barrage of punches and kicks, each strike infused with the energy of a Super Saiyan Blue evolution. Belmod, realizing he was outmatched, attempted to use his signature technique, the Joker's Gambit, a move that created multiple illusions of himself to confuse his opponent. But Vegeta's instincts were razor sharp. With a roar, he unleashed a massive energy wave that obliterated the illusions and struck Belmod directly, sending the god of destruction crashing to the ground. The crowd erupted in cheers as Vegeta stood victorious, his power and determination undeniable. As the tournament progressed, Goku found himself facing the god of destruction from Universe 6, Champa. Champa, the brother of Beerus, was a formidable opponent, known for his immense strength and unpredictable fighting style. The battle began with a clash of fists, each punch sending shockwaves through the arena. Goku, now wielding the power of an angel, moved with a grace and speed that seemed almost otherworldly. His mastery of Ultra Instinct allowed him to dodge Champa's attacks effortlessly, countering with devastating blows of his own. Champa, realizing he was outmatched, unleashed his full power, transforming into his ultimate form. The arena trembled as the two warriors clashed, their energy colliding in a blinding explosion of light. Goku, however, remained calm. With a serene expression, he channeled the power of Ultra Instinct, his body moving with perfect precision. He delivered a final, decisive blow that sent Champa flying out of the arena, securing his victory. The crowd was in awe, witnessing the power of an angel in action. As the tournament continued, the stakes grew higher, and the battles became more intense. Vegeta, driven by his desire to surpass Goku, faced off against the gods of destruction from Universes 2, 3, and 4, defeating each one with a combination of raw power and strategic brilliance. His strength and determination were unmatched, and with each victory, he grew closer to his goal of claiming the title of God of Destruction. Meanwhile, Goku's battles showcased the true potential of Ultra Instinct, as he effortlessly defeated opponents who had once seemed invincible. The rivalry between the two Saiyan warriors was as fierce as ever, but their shared goal of protecting the multiverse kept them united. As the first part of the tournament came to an end, the stage was set for the ultimate showdown. The final battles would determine the fate of the multiverse, and the strength and skills of Goku and Vegeta would be put to the ultimate test. The story was just beginning, and the journey ahead promised to be one of the most thrilling and epic in the history of Dragon Ball. The battlefield was a chaotic storm of energy, explosions, and raw power as Goku, now fully integrated into the Angel Clan, faced off against the remaining Destroyer gods. His silver hair shimmered with divine light, his movements fluid and precise, as if he were dancing through the chaos. The angelic techniques he had mastered allowed him to manipulate time and space, creating afterimages that confused his opponents. Goku's fists crackled with energy as he unleashed a barrage of punches, each strike carrying the weight of a collapsing star. The Destroyer Gods, however, were no pushovers. They retaliated with their own devastating attacks, their energy blasts tearing through the fabric of reality. Goku gritted his teeth, feeling the strain of pushing his body beyond its limits. He knew he couldn't hold back, this was a fight for the fate of the multiverse. Meanwhile, Vegeta stood at the center of his own battlefield, his body battered but unyielding. He had already defeated 11 of the 12 Destroyer Gods, his Saiyan pride fueling his relentless assault. His fists were bloodied, his armor cracked, but his resolve was unshakable. The final Destroyer God, a towering figure wielding a massive energy axe, charged at him with a roar. Vegeta sidestepped the attack, his movements sharp and calculated. He countered with a devastating elbow strike to the destroyer's ribs, followed by a spinning kick that sent his opponent flying. Vegeta's eyes burned with determination as he powered up, his aura exploding into a brilliant crimson. "You think you can stand against a Saiyan prince?" he shouted, his voice echoing across the battlefield. He launched himself at the Destroyer God, their clash creating shockwaves that shattered nearby planets. Goku's fight took a dramatic turn as the Destroyer Gods began to coordinate their attacks. One of them, a master of energy manipulation, created a massive energy net that threatened to ensnare Goku. Another, a speed-based destroyer, darted around him, delivering rapid strikes that tested Goku's reflexes. Goku's mind raced as he formulated a strategy. He channeled his angelic energy into his hands, creating a sphere of pure light. With a shout, he released the sphere, which expanded rapidly, disintegrating the energy net and forcing the speed-based destroyer to retreat. Goku then activated Ultra Instinct, his body moving on its own as he dodged a flurry of attacks. He countered with a series of precise strikes, each one landing with devastating force. The Destroyer Gods struggled to keep up, their frustration growing as Goku's power continued to rise. Vegeta, on the other hand, was locked in a brutal exchange of blows with the final Destroyer God. The two combatants were evenly matched, their attacks creating massive craters in the ground. Vegeta's body was pushed to its absolute limit, but he refused to back down. He tapped into his Saiyan heritage, drawing on the primal rage that had fueled his ancestors. His aura shifted, becoming darker and more intense as he entered a new transformation, a fusion of his God of Destruction training and his Saiyan instincts. His muscles bulged with power, his eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. The Destroyer God hesitated for a moment, sensing the danger. Vegeta seized the opportunity, delivering a devastating punch that shattered the destroyer's energy axe. He followed up with a series of rapid strikes, each one more powerful than the last. The Destroyer God staggered, his body unable to withstand the onslaught. With a final, earth-shattering blast, Vegeta defeated his opponent, his roar of victory echoing across the battlefield. Goku's fight reached its climax as he faced the leader of the Destroyer Gods, a being of unimaginable power. The leader's attacks were relentless, each one capable of destroying entire galaxies. Goku struggled to keep up, his body aching from the strain. But he refused to give up. Drawing on the teachings of the angels, he began to manipulate the flow of time itself. He created temporal distortions that slowed the leader's movements, giving him the opening he needed. Goku's fists glowed with energy as he unleashed a flurry of punches, each one striking with the force of a supernova. The leader retaliated with a massive energy blast, but Goku countered with a Kamehameha wave that collided with the blast, creating a blinding explosion. The shockwave from the collision sent both combatants flying, but Goku was the first to recover. He charged at the leader, his body moving faster than light. With a final, decisive strike, Goku defeated the leader, his victory marking the end of the battle. As the dust settled, Goku and Vegeta stood amidst the ruins of the battlefield, their bodies battered but victorious. The multiverse was safe, but the cost had been high. Goku looked at Vegeta, a smile breaking through his exhaustion. "We did it," he said, his voice filled with relief. Vegeta nodded, his expression serious but proud. "Don't get too comfortable, Kakarot," he replied. "This is just the beginning." The two warriors stood side by side, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Their limits had been pushed, their powers tested, but they had emerged stronger than ever. The fight was over, but the journey was far from complete. The final battle erupted in a cataclysmic clash of energy, shaking the very fabric of the universe. The battlefield, a desolate plain between dimensions, bore the scars of countless attacks as Goku and Vegeta faced off against the ultimate threat, Xeno's Shadow, a malevolent entity born from the suppressed darkness of the Omni King. The air crackled with tension as the two scions, now at the pinnacle of their power, prepared to give everything they had. Goku, his silver hair shimmering with divine light as an angel in training, stood side by side with Vegeta, whose aura burned with the ferocity of a newly crowned god of destruction. The stakes were clear: if they failed, the multiverse would be consumed by chaos. The fight began with a blinding explosion of energy. Goku teleported behind Zeno's shadow, launching a flurry of punches infused with angelic energy, each strike distorting space itself. Vegeta, roaring with primal fury, charged head-on, his fists wreathed in destruction energy. Their attacks landed, but the shadow merely laughed, its form flickering like a mirage. "Is this all you have?" it taunted, its voice echoing with the weight of infinite malice. With a wave of its hand, it unleashed a torrent of dark energy, forcing Goku and Vegeta to retreat. The ground beneath them disintegrated, and the sky above turned into a swirling vortex of despair. Goku gritted his teeth, his body trembling from the strain of maintaining his angelic form. "We can't keep this up forever," he muttered, his voice strained but determined. Vegeta, his pride refusing to let him falter, growled, "Then we end this now." The Saiyan Prince unleashed a barrage of God of Destruction energy blasts, each one capable of obliterating a star. The shadow absorbed them effortlessly, its power growing with every attack. "You're only making me stronger," it sneered, its form expanding to tower over them like a god of annihilation. Desperation set in as Goku and Vegeta realized their attacks were futile. Goku's mind raced, recalling Whis' teachings about the nature of angelic energy. "It's not just about power," Whis had said. "It's about harmony, balance, and understanding the flow of the universe." Goku closed his eyes, focusing on the energy within him. He felt the universe's pulse, the delicate balance of creation and destruction. Meanwhile, Vegeta, driven by his unyielding will, tapped into the deepest reserves of his god of destruction power. His body glowed with an intense crimson aura, and his eyes burned with resolve. "I won't let this end here," he vowed, his voice a low growl. The two scions exchanged a glance, a silent understanding passing between them. They charged at the shadow together, their energies intertwining in a dazzling display of light and darkness. Goku's angelic energy flowed like a river, pure and unyielding, while Vegeta's destruction energy raged like a wildfire, consuming everything in its path. Their combined attack struck the shadow, forcing it to stagger for the first time. "Impossible," it roared, its form flickering as cracks began to appear in its dark armor. But the shadow wasn't finished. With a roar of defiance, it unleashed its ultimate attack, a wave of pure entropy that threatened to unravel existence itself. Goku and Vegeta stood their ground, their bodies pushed to the absolute limit. Goku's silver hair flickered as his angelic form wavered, and Vegeta's crimson aura dimmed as his energy reserves dwindled. "This is it," Goku said, his voice steady despite the overwhelming pressure. "We give it everything we've got." Vegeta nodded, a rare smile tugging at the corners of his lips. "For once, Kakarot, I agree with you." In a final, desperate gambit, Goku and Vegeta channeled all their remaining energy into a single, unified attack. Goku's angelic energy formed a sphere of pure light, while Vegeta's destruction energy condensed into a swirling vortex of annihilation. They hurled their attacks at the shadow, the two energies colliding in a blinding explosion that engulfed the battlefield. The shockwave rippled across the multiverse, shaking planets and stars to their cores. For a moment, everything went silent, as if the universe itself held its breath. When the light faded, the shadow was gone, its malevolent presence erased from existence. Goku and Vegeta collapsed to their knees, their bodies battered and broken, but their spirits unbroken. The battlefield was eerily quiet, the only sound the faint hum of residual energy. Goku looked at Vegeta, a tired smile on his face. "We did it," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Vegeta, ever the proud warrior, managed a weak chuckle. "Of course we did. I wouldn't expect anything less." The aftermath of the battle brought profound changes to the universe. Goku, having proven himself worthy, was officially welcomed into the ranks of the angels, his role as a guardian of balance solidified. Vegeta, having defeated all 11 destroyers in a series of grueling battles, ascended to the position of supreme god of destruction, taking over for Beerus. The two scions, once rivals, now stood as equals, their bond forged in the fires of countless battles. The multiverse, though scarred by the conflict, began to heal, its future secured by the sacrifices of its greatest warriors. As Goku and Vegeta looked out at the stars, they knew their journey was far from over. But for now, they allowed themselves a moment of peace, their hearts filled with the knowledge that they had done the impossible. Together, they had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, their actions forever changing the course of history. And as the universe continued to turn, the legend of the two scions would echo through the ages, a testament to the power of courage, determination, and the unbreakable bond